Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World and a very happy Monday from everybody here at Prime Sports World. On today's episode of the Prime, we're going to be breaking down week number 4 of the UFL, and then we're going to give you our predictions for week number 5. I'm David Huffman, right there is my coach, Mr. TJ Hopkins. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast as we try to be the number one place for all things UFL this season. Not the best product on the field this weekend, TJ, for the UFL. A lot of really just low-scoring games, kind of not great offensive product on the football field outside of Birmingham and the Battlehawks, basically. But happy Monday, man. How are you?
It's Monday.
So you're doing great, is what I'm hearing.
It's Monday.
All right, for sure. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the first game on the slate. A small gripe that I just want to kind of complain about real quick, TJ. The UFL, if you're going to have games on, you just can't put 2 football games on at prime time at the same time. Like, you're cannibalizing your own product. Like, you're cannibalizing your own product.
You're right.
Because you're forcing, and they didn't even put the good game on TV. They put the lesser game on TV. The Birmingham Stallions and the DC Defenders. That's the game people want to see, and you don't have it on TV. At least not where I was in Chicago.
I didn't have it either. I never understood. The NBA is kind of doing the same thing right now. You put 2 playoff games on virtually at the same time. Cleveland falls under the Eastern time zone, correct? Cleveland?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, they came on at 6, and then 30 minutes later, the Knicks and the 76ers, they're on. But the Magic and the Cavs are on NBA TV. And I'm here to tell you right now, not everybody has NBA TV.
Yeah, it's like part of a premium subscription package. You can't.
Yeah, not everybody has that. And I don't even know how those who had, I'm not even going to sit here and say that the UFL is a part of a premium package, because how did anybody watch, if anybody did watch it, how did anybody watch that DC? They didn't, unless it was regional.
They did. There are trying regional stuff because they eventually want to expand this out to 16 teams, and there will be games on at the same time. But this is you do that later. It's week 4. And they're doing the same thing next week with the schedule, and they got 2 games on Fox, both at the same time, both on prime time at 7:00. It's just you're cannibalizing. It's a new league. If you want to have maximum people watching your product, have the games at staggered time. There's no reason to have them at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. At least you're gonna at least give you, especially since the other game got delayed because of weather. You could have. It's just frustrating to me, and I don't understand that decision making when it comes to the UFL. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about the first game on the court here. We got these showboats going into St. Louis and just getting thumped by AJ McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks, 32-17. St. Louis basically won this wire to wire. There was a brief moment where Memphis was up 3-63 earlier in the first quarter. But then it was basically all Battlehawks for the remainder of the game, capping off by 2 touchdown passes in a row from A.J. McCarron in the fourth quarter to really kind of seal this game away, put them up 26-17, and then scored another touchdown, or 32-17, as they just cruised to a victory against the Memphis Showboats, who really just couldn't get anything really going on offense for this team. Case Cook gets a touchdown and a pick. A.J. McCarron 3 touchdowns as he continues to be just a super prolific passer for this team. Wayne Gallman had a rushing touchdown. So did Darius Victor. Victor also had a touchdown. You know what? Also on the UFL.com website, they have now, instead of just putting the players' last names on their stat sheet, they actually put their full names on the sheet now, so you can kind of see the whole name. So that's fun. But yeah, Ja'Cour Pearson had the one receiving touchdown. Jacob Sailors and Jake Sutherland, former tight end, also had touchdowns for the Battlehawks as they win this game fairly handily, not allowing a single point for the Showboats in the second half.
Yeah, they're trying to grow their game, so what better way to grow the game than recognition of the players? Yeah, St. Louis just said we're better than them. We have too much, because at one point in time we're not gonna act like this game wasn't tied. Memphis
Yeah, it was tied going into halftime.
Like Memphis was hanging in with them. And then,
right before halftime, Matt Coughlin kicked a 28-yard field goal, and then St. Louis kicked a field goal. Yeah.
I mean, he never looked back.
Yeah.
So when you're Memphis, you can't afford to have scoreless quarters.
Scoreless halves, man.
Like
the hell with the quarter.
I mean, like in general, like you can score the rest of the game, but that third quarter, when this is a tie game, when it's 17-17, when it's 20-17, and you have a chance to one touchdown jump, put you in front, and you're you feeling good about yourself going into the fourth quarter, right?
But yeah, you're down by a field goal going into the fourth quarter.
Going into the fourth quarter. So for you to not pounce on any opportunity to tie the game, like to take the lead, let alone tie the game, that's fucking demoralizing, man.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention that they got completely outgained when it comes to time possession, yards. I mean, 355 yards for the Battlehawks, 127 for the Showboats. Yeah, just when you're giving up a 2-to-1 ratio in terms of yards, you're gonna lose those games. When you're losing time of possession by almost half, like you hold the football for half the amount of time, you're gonna lose that game.
Yeah, like it's.
You give up 4 touchdowns in the red zone every time. Every time the Battlehawks went into the red zone, they scored a touchdown.
And then, like you said, like they scored 2 touchdowns in a row. St. Louis did, and I'm like, yep, this game. This is over.
Yeah. Moving on to the other game, probably the best game of the weekend that nobody got to see. Hold on. I have them. I got the Panthers and the Brahmas. Sorry, we'll go to the Stallions and the Defenders in a second. The San Antonio Brahmas, they host the Michigan Panthers. They win this game 19-9, as this was just kind of like a sloppy game. Like there's no real rhythm on offense for either football team. And it kind of showed by the stats. I mean, 251 yards for the Panthers, 305 for the Brahmas. Quentin Dormady was actually fantastic in this game. He was on the Orlando Guardians last year and really gave them a spark towards the end of the year last year, if you remember. But they didn't run the football at all for the Brahmas. 1.9 yards per carry, 22 carries for 41 yards. The Michigan Panthers, E.J. Perry got injured in this game and did not return. Danny Edling, 11 for 14, a touchdown and a pick. They ran the ball pretty effectively in this game. 17 carries for 111 yards and 6.5 yards per tote. Marcus Smins, leading receiver for the Michigan Panthers, but their offense could just really never get anything going. And Quinn Dormady kind of seemed to be a spark plug for the San Antonio Brahmas, very similar to the spark that he provided for the Orlando Guardians last year as they moved to 3-1.
Yeah, if you're the Michigan Panthers, there's no good way to feel. There's nothing to feel good about this game. You lost a game to a team that had 41 rushing yards, net 41 rushing yards. Pistachios are amazing, by the way.
I love me some pistachios, I'll tell you.
So,
but this is a game that you should win. I mean, I understand that E.J. Perry went down. Jake Bates continues to be the best kicker in this league. But, I mean, this is a game you should win. I mean, 1.9, I mean, you're basically deadlocked when it comes to time possession, basically a 1-to-1 ratio. Yards, you didn't get outgained by all that much. You didn't turn the. I mean, they did have 3 turnovers. The Brahmas had 3 turnovers in this game. So
you had 3 takeaways. If you're Michigan, we had 3 takeaways. We held them to under 50 yards rushing, and we lost by 10.
Yeah. Bad
business.
Yeah, I mean, this is for the Michigan Panthers. Was just not a good day at the office for them. I mean, you think when you rush for over 100 yards as a team, you'd be able to control things a little bit better than they did, but they just never got to that point. It's kind of a demoralizing, tough loss for the Michigan Panthers.
And the bad part about this is they can't even say if E.J. Perry didn't get hurt, we win, because it ain't like he was really doing all that well with E.J. Perry.
He was playing
with.
He wasn't playing good. He wasn't playing good at all. And Danny Etling comes in. I mean, as TJ always likes to point out, I mean, there's not that much film on this guy. He's a backup quarterback in the UFL. I know he had a stint in like a hot minute in the NFL, but like they're like so.
Like no, like that works if he comes in and he light their ass up and they win because it's like, hey, you didn't prep for Danny Etling, you prepped for EJ Perry.
I mean, but he threw only 3 incompletions, and one of them being a pick. So technically only 2 incompletions.
They didn't win.
No, they didn't. Quinn Dormady continues to be an excellent Saturday, spring football quarterback. Jake Bates will be playing at the NFL next season, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, give it to him.
To the best game of the weekend that unfortunately nobody got to watch because of really just a fumbling of the situation when it comes to the UFL. I mean, Birmingham, they kick a game-winning field goal, not quite at the horn, but pretty close to the horn as they win this game 20-18. There were only 9 seconds left when they kicked the game-winning field goal. Jordan Tiamo played okay in this game, but his completion percentage continues to just be brutal. 12 of 22, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's only completing 50% of his passes in the majority of the games, even when they win. Matt Corral got all of the snaps at the quarterback position, which was interesting, at least for me personally. 19 and 29, 240 yards and a touchdown for Matt Corral. Cameron Harris, 11 for 43 on the DC Defenders rushing the football. They ran the team as a team, 26 to 91, 3.5 yards per tote. On the Birmingham side, 33 carries, 130 yards for that team. And Amari Rogers, leading receiver for the Birmingham Stallions. Calvin Harmon on the other side for the DC Defenders. TJ.
1 second. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Chewing in your ear was disrespectful. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Jordan Tiamo. Like it's beyond concerning at this point. Like yeah. I don't know if he needs to see like a sports psychologist to get in his head, see what's going on. I don't know if it's just like him still working out the kinks. I don't know if it's different play calling, if it's a different approach. I don't know what it is. It's not good.
I mean, it's the same head coach. It's the same offensive scheme. I mean, nothing has changed. But he just hasn't been good.
Exactly. So like now we have to is he hurt? Is he dealing with an injury that we don't know about? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like something's not. The math ain't mathing. Their saving grace is what are they 2-2?
Yeah, they're 2-2. I mean, but they've lost 2 of their games in heartbreaking fashion. I mean, they lose this game at a field goal at the wire. And then they lost another game earlier this season, basically at the horn too. So yeah, I mean they've lost football games in kind of debilitating fashion, but they got mostly outplayed in this game too. I mean, Birmingham over 100, almost 100 more yards than the Defenders. They had more. They had on nearly 10 more minutes of time possession. Like this is a game that. Yeah, the game like Birmingham needed to pull the rabbit out of the hat a little bit here. But let's not say that they weren't the better football team for majority of the game. The scoreboard just didn't reflect that.
Yeah, it's again, like I said it when we did the the good news is I think there was a comparison, like I think they do it like a week to week type thing. It's like when the leagues, it's like interleague play, I guess that's the only way to describe it. It's 4-4, so 4 USFL wins, 4 XFL wins, and that's how we gonna do this. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. I also don't have a problem with Matt Corral taking all the snaps this game for Birmingham. Like again, it's. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. Like somebody has to be the guy going forward. You can't keep doing the 2 quarterback thing because eventually play calling gets predictable. Defenses know like, hey, this quarterback's in, it's a pass play. This quarterback in, it's a run play. Now, unless you have a guy that does both, which I think Birmingham does.
Yeah, I mean they have Adrian Martinez who can throw and run, and Matt Corral, he was the leading rusher he was the second leading rusher on the team with 51 yards. He had 7.3 yards per clip on the ground. So, I mean, he did run the ball effectively as the quarterback out the backfield. Ricky Person was the leading rusher for Birmingham. And I'm not seeing anything about Adrian Martinez being hurt, so it's just interesting. Also, the first safety in the UFL was scored in this game of the season, with Sternberger Jay Sternberger having that safety, getting points for the Birmingham Stallions, to put them up 8-6 at the time. But yeah, this was actually a really entertaining back and forth game. We had a billion lead changes in the game throughout the course of this affair here.
One thing that surprises me is Birmingham didn't get any sacks. They had 0 sacks for the game. DC had 4.
Well, I think maybe that could have a lot to do with the fact that Matt Corral is kind of like, or Jordan Tiamo kind of is getting rid of the football quickly. He's also not. Yeah, he's also pretty mobile as well. So
yeah.
So I mean, he ran the ball for 6 yards a carry. He had 4 carries for 24 yards. And I think as the defenders, I think you got to figure out what's going on with Jordan Tiamo. I mean, he was excellent last season, and he's just been kind of inconsistent this year to not good.
Yeah, like I said, the math ain't math, and like some man, right? Like you had them by 1 on 3rd down conversions, like 4-3. Like you said, you just lost this game in heartbreaking fashion. Like that's it. Like you can literally dissect the game and go back and be like, hey, if we score here, like literally all you have to do is kick one field goal, and you win 21-20. Like that field, like you, but you didn't do it. You couldn't do it. And yeah, my main concern with them is Jordan Tiamo. Like it's almost like we're winning in like the games you do win, we're winning in spite of you.
Yeah.
But the games we lose, it's almost like you don't want to put the blame on them just yet.
I think it's getting to the point though where we're talking about
very close. Yes.
To the final game of the weekend. This game was on Sunday, and this game was also just neither of these offenses could really get things going. We got both these teams were defeated at the point, so somebody had to get up the schneid. The Houston Roughnecks come out with the victory, 17-9. Yeah, I mean, I thought the Renegades were going to get back into this game when they scored that touchdown in the 3rd quarter, but neither of these teams scored in the 4th, and it was just sloppy football. Luis Perez just wasn't making good throws. And Reed Sinnott, yeah, he was fine in this game, but yeah, he also wasn't lighting up the torches like anything crazy in that game either. I'm not really sure what to make of it. It was just kind of bad offense all around. Neither 253 yards for the Roughnecks, 193 for the Renegades, which includes 2.2 yards per carry on the ground. Just really not going to get it done. Your quarterback's only throwing for 144 yards for the game. Also, probably not going to get it done. As the Renegades, they win the XFL last year, and now they can't buy a victory. It's it is what it's.
No, yeah, like that's the cold world, right? Like it's a bit of a snapback to reality for the Renegades. First off, this game was Houston was the home team, right?
Yeah.
They played their games at the University of Rice, or Rice University, whichever one it is. They played their games at their field, which I did not know.
It's a really nice facility.
It is. I'm not taking anything away from Rice. Like, it's a very nice school from what I've seen. Like we see games like this in the NFL all the time where it's just like 2 very bad teams played. It's ugly. There's nothing entertaining about it. These are
yeah, your point exactly. It was just like
it's a great terrible game. Like that's the way to put it. Like it's a great,
it was a hard hitting game where these defenses really came to play. But the fact that I'm not like this was a matter of fact that just not like sure it was excellent defense, but I think this was just really poor offense. Like neither of these teams really got anything going, really got anything clicking. Fortunately, one of these 2 teams had to win, and it was the Houston Roughnecks as they kind of just escaped.
and I said that last week during the preview. I'm like, hey, this is one of those games where it's like, hey, somebody gotta lose. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Like, thank God there's no ties in the XFL that we've seen so
Yeah,
far.
so far, yeah.
So, yeah, it was just ugly, man. Like, Luis Perez looked all out of sorts.
Yeah, he was missing
Like,
easy throws. Like he was just not throwing it on lines. He was not darting it down the field the way you would expect, and like he was just
he
leaving.
legit looked like he didn't want to be there. Like, he just looked so. And I'm not saying that was the case. I'm just saying like it definitely looked like his mind was elsewhere. I don't know if he's. I don't want to know if he has anything personal going on because that's not my business. But on the Houston side, you saw this meant a lot for them.
Yeah,
Like
I
like
mean,
they
getting your first
like
win as a franchise, because remember this is like they basically created this franchise as a combination of the two Texas teams or the Houston teams from both leagues. So
they were hyped. Like they were so hyped for this game. Like the way they secured the win, like they got that fumble to secure the win, and it was like you could see them like yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah. And
that's
the
that's
clock,
that,
there's
that's my
the
big takeaway.
clock management stuff at the end with the Arlington Renegades, like just wasting time and getting that bad false start. Like it was just overall just a bad day at the office for the Arlington Renegades, and
Like
we'll see if it
that's
ends up getting better for them as they try to get off the schneid this upcoming week.
that's my big takeaway from this one is like the emotion that the Houston Roughnecks showed. Like, don't tell these dudes that this shit don't matter to them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
You could see it.
don't try to downplay the league as, oh, why are you watching this type thing, like why is this a thing, like no, don't do that. Like this is like when the product is good, like this is it's a good watch. It's very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, outside. I mean, I was the DC Defender Stallions game was. I watched some highlights of that game. I would have loved if that had been on TV, but you know.
Yeah, or at least like give us an option, give us some kind of way to watch that. You have to
Yeah.
give people a way to
I mean,
stream that in some capacity.
they're doing the same thing this week, swinging into that schedule. They got the Brahmas and the Renegades going on at the exact same time as the Stallions and Roughnecks on the same network. So they're running into the same scenario this week with this schedule. And I read some stuff online that also could be like conflicts with the stadium, but I don't think that's it. I just think that the UFL is just testing these like I think they're just testing stuff that doesn't need to be tested right now. Like get through the season first and then worry about everything else. But let's swing into the first game. We got the San Antonio Brahmas. Have you seen the video of Wade Phillips doing the little dance after they won this most recent week? It's a good watch. But yeah, they're going into Arlington, taking on the Renegades. TJ, who do you got?
San Antonio. Like I just don't. I don't know what the Renegades are gonna put on. Product that they're gonna put on the field. Like again, like Luis Perez, it's like, dude. Like first off, once again, Luis Perez, like you are like the king of spring football. Like every spring football
He's played in every league.
You played in all of them. So like, yeah, you're a household name for that reason alone. But give me San Antonio. I just don't think. I think their defense just shuts the Renegades down.
I agree with you. I'm also going to take the San Antonio Brahmas. I have not liked what I've seen out of the Renegades so far this season. The other matchup that's on at the exact same time, Stallions going into Houston, taking on the Roughnecks. Roughnecks obviously got their first victory this past weekend, going up against the best team in either league, the Birmingham Stallions. I'm taking the Stallions. I think they're going to continue to be dominant. I did not, even if the Roughnecks won, they still look like a team that's all out of sorts, especially at the quarterback position. To what should be a very entertaining game, swinging into Sunday afternoon football. The St. Louis Battlehawks going up in DC and taking on the Defenders and the Beer Snake. TJ, who do you got in this matchup? Battlehawks, Defenders, XFL rivals going head to head in the UFL.
I'm going St. Louis. At the end of the day, if I need AJ McCarron to make, if I need someone to make a play, and you have him choose between AJ McCarron and Jordan Tiamu, based off what we've seen, give me AJ McCarron. It's not even close.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that. I take the Battlehawks. Jordan Tiamo has not been good this season. So as we talked about with the other in the recap episode, yeah, the defenders have to figure out what's going on with Jordan Tiamo. He's just not completing the football at a rate that leads to winning football. To the final game Sunday afternoon at 3:00 on Fox Sports. Michigan Panthers going into Memphis. Yeah, Memphis, and taking on the Showboats. TJ.
Again, this has potential to be Roughnecks, Renegades all over again. I just don't. It's just too bad. Well, one inconsistent team and one bad team.
Yeah, the Memphis Showboats haven't shown me anything that they're going to be. They can put a competent product on the field right now. I'm taking the Panthers. At least they have Jake Bates I can rely on.
But Jake Bates needs his teammates to get him into range.
No, man. He's Jake Bates. He kick it 60 yards, man. you only got to gain 30 yards to get Jake Bates into field goal range.
Give me the home team. I'm gonna ride with the Showboats.
All right. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, that's been our week 4, week 5 recap / preview.
Not very good.
But thank you very much for checking us out here as we try to be the number one hope for all things UFL. I'm David Huffman. Right there is my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. And TJ, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
We bring the heat.
Yes, sir. We'll be back here tomorrow, swinging into the NFL, our final mock draft show before the big thing on Thursday. Christian Simpson from the Daily Blitz.blog is supposed to be joining us as well. He just released his mock draft on his website yesterday or the day before. So go look out for that content. I'm David Huffman. You all have a good night and stay safe out there. Peace out, TJ.
Yeah.